We need to start taking the dangers of friend groups that look like this serious in our community. Nolan Wells was missing since the 4th of July after a boating trip with these culprits.
His white friends that he trusted murdered him.
So let me get it straight. You and a group of friends plan a trip for the 4th of July. Y'all go to the trip. You guys supposedly have fun. It's time to go home, and the person you came with didn't come back with y'all?
In light of this Nolan Xavier story, I really want to tell the story. This is for Black parents or parents of color who have children in all white spaces. I'm from Michigan, right? And there's this beach everybody goes to. It's called Grand Haven. I probably was 17. There's this thing that Peach people do, right? Racial baiting, racial peer pressure. They will try to peer pressure your children into doing something that is dangerous to them or could potentially harm them.
Well, here we are again, folks. And you know what I always say, those that do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Y'all remember what happened with this lady up here? This is Tamia Horsford, a 40-year-old mother in Forsyth, Georgia. She went to a sleepover with some football moms in 2018. And the next day, she was found dead, face down in the backyard of the very place where they were having the sleepover. And nobody know nothing about what happened. And to this day, there has not been justice in this case. And those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
My mama always told me if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, 9 times out of 10, you ain't there for the party and you there as the present. My mama always told me, if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, you not there for the birthday party, you there to be the present.
But let me tell you this. We do not want to hear that this is another case of a self-unaliving. Not in Mississippi and not on the 4th of July weekend.
This Nolan Wells situation has really triggered and sparked a question that I have been asking myself for a long time. And at this point, I think it needs to be an open question and an open discussion and dialogue surrounding it. And that question is, as parents, even as an adult, a Black adult, as a Black parent, why are you okay with your child, your Black child, being the only Black child in white spaces? And as an adult, why are you okay being the only Black friend in a white friend group? Why?
Why are you okay with your child, with your Black child being the only child in white spaces? Now, that question has sparked intense debate following the disappearance and the death of this 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Now, this is across social media. Many Black voices are expressing, grave frustration and, demanding answers like, why is this the case? But others are drawing, comparison to, past cases that, look similar. They believe they raise similar unanswered questions. Some are even urging Black parents to have difficult conversations about safety, about peer pressure, and trust. Now, opinions are divided, deeply divided. Emotions are running high from Black community, and everyone seems to be asking, like, what really happened? And why does it seem to be like the pattern? There is a pattern. It happens like this in most cases. So anyway, let's dive into this video and hear the reactions, the concerns and perspectives, being shared by Black people. And once again, if this is your first time to come to this channel, please subscribe so we can have more of this. Otherwise, let's dive into this and then we can have discussions afterwards.
His white friends that he trusted murdered him. Let's just get that out there. I don't care what the jury is going to say later on down the road. I don't care what they convict. They murdered Nolan Xavier Wells. He was a rising football star. He was an 18-year-old rising football star at Southwest Mississippi Community College. He went on a boating trip with his friends on July 4th to Horn Island. That was a deadly mistake in trusting that they had your best interest. They led you on, they took you to Horn Island, literally, and then they told the cops they don't know what happened to you, even though they came back with your phone. And you were the only one that didn't return. I call murder. Okay, so here's what happened. According to authorities and the latest reports, he was last seen, Nolan Xavier Wells was reportedly last seen on July 4th around 3 p.m. According to search leaders, they say Xavier had been talking to a girl near the end of the island. Then suddenly he disappeared. After that, all of his friends say they don't know what happened, and they ended up returning anyway without him. Just his phone. This was told because his mother was desperately trying to track him, and he didn't have his phone on him. His family, of course, immediately started asking anybody for help and anybody on that island who had any pictures or videos around 4:30 because they are desperately looking for him. Well, they were. Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, the Coast Guard, Gulf Island National Seashore, the United Cajun Navy, volunteer pilots, drone operators, and dozens of boaters participated in this search. They wanted him found. Then came Monday morning around 8:45 a.m. when a park ranger discovered a body near the west end of the island. The sheriff says it matches Nolan's description. Nolan's family confirmed the devastating loss in a post as well. Again, how does someone disappear on the 4th of July during a trip surrounded by friends? His family needs answers. And according to Chatter, one of the boys' parents is a judge, and they've already lawyered up. Because if you're not guilty, why do you need a lawyer to defend yourself? I'll keep following the story for you guys if you want updates, because this cannot keep happening to us. There were already multiple hangings this year. One being on Juneteenth. Follow along for more.
Well, here we are again, folks. And you know what I always say, those that do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Y'all remember what happened with this lady up here? This is Tamia Horsford, a 40-year-old mother in Forsyth, Georgia. She went to a sleepover with some football moms in 2018. And the next day she was found dead, face down in the backyard of the very place where they were having the sleepover. And nobody know nothing about what happened. And to this day, there has not been justice in this case. And those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. This young man right here is Nolan Wells, who unfortunately was found deceased just a little while ago. He went out to Horn Island in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, with these guys right here for a July the 4th excursion, and he didn't make it home. These guys brought his phone back to his mother and father, but they did not bring him back. So I say to you once again, because I just made this same video a few weeks ago when the Carmelo Anthony trial was going on, stop putting your kids in these situations where they are in danger. I know you feel like you're doing what's best for them. I know you feel like sending them to the white schools and putting them in these white neighborhoods and white enclaves and having all white friends. I know you feel like you're doing what is best for them, but you are putting your beautiful black babies in danger. Tamia Horsford is gone. Nolan Wells is gone. And nobody know nothing. Nobody knows anything. And his death has been ruled an accidental drowning. But somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. And at the end of the day, we do not learn from history, and it continues to repeat itself. Don't be the token in the group, because tokens get spent. And as you see right here, history keeps on repeating itself until we get smart enough to understand. Stop putting yourself in these dangerous situations. You are in danger.
First thing I'm going to say is I would never leave without the full head count of my friends. That is rule number one. We don't get off no damn island. We don't get onto no boat. We don't do nothing until we have every last person that we came with all in one place. You mean to tell me that no one took account for Nolan Xavier Wells before y'all got back on that boat to go back to the main island? Something's not adding up. 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was last seen on July 4th with his friends on Horn Island outside of Jackson, Mississippi. He was last seen in blue shorts, sunglasses, and that's it. Nolan's parents are looking for him nonstop. They just want to find their son. Now, the U.S. Coast Guard and the Cajun Navy are looking for Nolan. The Cajun Navy commander said that he was last seen with a teen before he disappeared. They found his phone, but they did not find him. And if this is his friend group, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have that much faith in finding this boy alive. Because like I said before, there's no way in hell I would hop on a boat to go home and not all of my friends are accounted for. Y'all didn't give a fuck about him whatsoever. And there's somebody out there that was part of that friend group that knows what the fuck happened. But everybody's locking the fuck up. Now, I'm trying to keep the faith that this boy's just sitting there lost on this island and, he fell asleep or some shit. But 9 times out of 10, we already know how this shit goes. Especially with a friend group like that. My prayers go out to Nolan's mother and father and his family and friends. I hope I come with a better update.
My mama always told me if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, 9 times out of 10, you ain't there for the party and you there as the present. My mama always told me if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, you not there for the birthday party, you there to be the present. Nolan Wells and this whole entire thing down there in Mississippi look fishy. One of the boys' mama is a judge down there. Don't nobody know what happened. Now all of a sudden, a body's been found to presume to be his. His mama, Nolan Wells, is online saying she want answers, which means she crying out to the world because she don't believe nothing Mississippi say, which she shouldn't. I want to hear what's going on because it's moving a little too slow for me. The people who investigate this whole thing saying that there's no way possible he could have made it to inside of the island because it's cactus and stuff everywhere. So what really happened to Nolan? That's all we want to know. I'm not going to cover this like I know everything. I want to hear y'all speak this time, okay? Because apparently the other way don't work when we just take what y'all say on y'all news outlets. We want to know what happened from y'all. Instead of all of us making posts on, y'all go live and say what happened. Put them boys on camera. Let us look at them. Let us be the judge of character on this one. Sidebar. I done already goddamn judged them. Y'all guilty. I don't give a damn. My baby leave the house and he don't come back and it was all white friends. Guilty. Undertaker commit the bodies. I digress. Nolan Wells has went missing. Body found. Parents want to know what's going on in Mississippi. If you ain't know what was going on, you know now. He went missing 4th of July weekend. He was with his friends. And he was the only birthday candle. I'm just here to bring you the news. I'm just a messenger.
In light of this Nolan Xavier story, I really want to tell the story. This is for black parents or parents of color who have children in all white spaces. I'm from Michigan, right? And there's this beach everybody go to. It's called Grand Haven. I probably was 17. There's this thing that Peach people do, right? Racial baiting, racial peer pressure. They will try to peer pressure your children into doing something that is dangerous to them or could potentially harm them. And it will be for their enjoyment. So there's these 3 or 4 black boys. I can't remember the exact number. And then there's these 2 peach girl, peach boy, right? They jumping off the pier, right? These people have boats. These people have been swimming all their lives. Like, it's nothing for them. They've done this plenty of times, I promise you. Me and my best friend, we're just sitting over the pier and we see the black boys, right? And they start talking to them. They're just having a normal conversation and all of a sudden they're telling them, hey, jump in, jump in. We instantly can tell this is a problem. The black boys are making statements clearly, insinuating that they can't swim. Nah, bro, I ain't jumping in there. That's crazy. How deep is the water? This peach girl and peach boy are saying anything to get them to listen. They're calling them scary and saying, oh, y'all are scared. It is not that deep. Oh, this is easy. And of course it's easy for them. And they know it's not easy for these boys. They know there's a potential that something very bad could happen, but they don't care because they want to see if they're going to jump in. At one point, the peach girl says, I will show you my breasts if you jump in. Me and my friend, we turned to them. We said, y'all better not jump in. Y'all better not jump in. Do they listen? Of course not, because the little girl is shaking her yitties. 2 boys jump in. Do you think they did anything when these boys was fighting for their life? Do you think? They mamas don't even know. They could have almost lost their child that day. Peach girl, peach boy was just cracking up, laughing. Mind you, they can swim. Me and my best friend, we started looking for a little buoy or something that we could throw out there. Like, we were scared. Anyways, they end up catching hold of the little dock or whatever, and they had to learn a harsh lesson. That's that. But the whole point of the story is just to tell you that things like that happen all the time with them. They even do it to each other. I'm telling you this not to say that it's all white people, not to say that they're all bad, but I just want you to know that you need to protect your children. You need to protect them because they do not understand. And if you didn't grow up with a mama like mine, they will succumb to that type of peer pressure. You have to stop letting y'all children live in a state of delusion. You have to let them know the real.
Now, I plan to come on here and tell y'all about just how black of a weekend I had here at Essence Fest, but I can't do that because yet again, the black community is hit with another tragedy that doesn't make sense. This is 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells, who went missing at Horn Island in Mississippi while celebrating the 4th of July weekend with these three friends. Now, a body was found on Monday, but the identity of the body has not been confirmed. But let me tell you this. We do not want to hear that this is another case of a self-unaliving. Not in Mississippi and not on the 4th of July weekend. We're not buying that. Now, authorities are saying that the last time he was seen was with a girl, but there's no further detail on what the girl looked like or the girl's identity. Now, I've also searched high and low to see where the statements are from the three friends he was with, and I've not been able to find anything from them. That, to me, is concerning and questionable because if you went on a trip with three friends for the 4th of July weekend, if it were my friend, I would be asking questions, speaking out, searching, doing all the things, and I've not heard anything of that sort from those three friends. Now, his mother says that obviously her and her husband have been worried sick and they've not been feeling good and they just want their son to come home and walk through the door. And they're asking for any information or any help that anyone can provide. But I'm praying for this family because this is getting out of control. And again, we don't want to hear that it was a self-unaliving. We're tired of that narrative.
We need to start taking the dangers of friend groups that look like this serious in our community. Nolan Wells was missing since the 4th of July after a boating trip with these culprits. Of course, these men said that they had no idea where Nolan was. And like expected, they all corroborated each other's stories. Fast forward to today, Nolan Wells' body was found. And we still don't have an explanation of exactly what happened. This isn't the first time this happened either. I remember this happened similarly to a black woman named Tamala Horsford. She went to a sleepover with a bunch of women that didn't look like her, and before the sun even came up, Tamala was dead. No explanation given to the cops once again. Alonzo Brooks also went to a house party and ended up unalived. These people are always going to corroborate each other's stories whenever something bad like this happens. And because of their privilege, they're always believed and no meaningful investigation is ever done. Many of these cases also go unsolved. And I'm not saying don't hang out with white people. I'm just saying if you look like me and they're going to an all-white space, you need to have a plan. My heart goes out to Wells and his family because they should be celebrating. He should be going to college right now and it should be one of the most exciting times of his life. But his family doesn't get to experience that. His mother had to spend this morning identifying his body. You guys be safe out there. I love you, and I'll talk to you next time.
This that crazy stuff that I be talking about, man. We already had our Juneteenth already. You know, our Juneteenth just passed on June the 19th. The problem that I'm having is what the heck was this kid right here doing out in the middle of the water on an island with these people right here, man? I don't care how cool they are, bro. I mean, we all know what's going on in Mississippi. Y'all see what happened in Mississippi last year at the college campuses? Did y'all see what happened a mile away from the college campus? Just an hour after one situation was already discovered in a tree dangling. Why would you want to go out to a dang on island with these people right here? Y'all don't look anything alike. We talking Mississippi, man. We already know, man, Mississippi don't like us. Mississippi has never liked us. That's why I don't understand why our people are still moving to Mississippi, let alone going out in the dang on water with four people who don't have your best interest at heart. And I really hope that they bring this young man home alive, but I'm hearing some stories, man. I'm hearing that a fisherman found someone, but nothing has been confirmed. But they did say a fisherman has found someone in the water in the same area where this young kid right here, this young 18-year-old baby, came up missing. I don't understand how them four people left the dock when they got the boat. 3 people returned back to the dock to turn their boat in. 1 person was missing. What the hell was their stories? Come on. It's not what I think it is it, guys? Because I'm starting to really, really think something awful. I'm really starting to think something awful. All 4 of those young men look like really, really nice, healthy young men. Look like that they don't have a breaks this bone in their body. I just hope that this isn't what I think it is. And I'm not putting any rumors out there. I'm not going to use the word alleged because I'm not allegedly making any accusations. I'm just giving an opinion, and I'm asking you guys your opinion. This don't look right to me at all. Something is not right. 4 went out on the boat. 3 came back to turn the boat in. Where the hell was this young man at? Why didn't he return to the boat dock to turn that boat in with them 3 other people? Something ain't right here, guys. Something's not right.
So let me get it straight. You and a group of friends plan a trip for the 4th of July. Y'all go to the trip. You guys supposedly have fun. It's time to go home, and the person you came with didn't come back with y'all? No questions asked. Just y'all thought that he caught another ride. And that don't sound suspicious? What's up with all these trips people going on, and all of a sudden now somebody not coming back? Somebody not there, somebody unalive. They done found the body, bro. My girl was literally telling me about this last night. And, you know, I was tired, so I woke up this morning. I'm looking into it, and they done found the body already. And the whole thing really, to me, just is not adding up. My condolences to the parents. You know, this is like a heartbreaking situation when your child goes on a trip and they not with you. Because you know that you're going to keep him safe. And waiting on his return and him not coming back, bro, that's sad, man. That's sad, bro. And I don't want to just pinpoint it on the friends, but all I'm going to say is this. If I come with somebody, you not finding another way home. We coming home together, bro. Ain't no finding another way home. It's never going to be that. We stick together. We stay together, bro. Ain't no getting lost. Ain't no wandering off. None of that. We somewhere that we not from. Ain't no hanging out. Ain't no going off on your own, bro. You staying with us. But something ain't right here, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Rest in peace, dog.
Why are you okay with your black child, or even yourself as a black person, being the only one who is different from anyone else in a white group or in another group? Now, that question goes beyond this far. I mean, it applies to like anyone, whether an adult or a child. Anywhere, regardless of who exactly you are, anywhere, like your background or your culture. Because whenever you find yourself completely alone in an unfamiliar environment, your safety should always matter. You should always prioritize your safety. And at the same time, being different doesn't automatically mean, yeah, you are in danger. What matters most is the character of the people around you, not simply what they look like, but yeah, their character. Is always good to observe the people you are around with. Now, this tragic case has reopened the conversation, and emotions are running incredibly high. Many people are asking difficult questions like, you know, why is this thing looking like it's a pattern? It reminds us of how something happened about somebody who was also among, you know, was the only black person among white friends. Because, you know, an 18-year-old left for holiday outing but never made it back home. His family deserves answers, and you know that's something almost everyone can agree on. But beyond investigation itself, you know, social media has exploded with the reactions, opinions, and, you know, personal experiences, and some warnings to, you know, black parents. So before we continue, let's look at the 5 main points and concerns people are raising after this heartbreaking case, especially black people. Black people are furious about, because they are having so many questions, because they are able to see some pattern. Now, number 1, many people are asking how an entire group returned while one person never did. You know, is it coincidence that just that black person cannot return, but the rest white people made it? I mean, for a lot of people, that's the biggest question. They say when friends travel together, they should have, you know, at least they should observe where is my friend. At least as they go together, they should come back together. They should live together every place. Now, several creators argue that someone should have noticed immediately if one member of the group was like missing. So whether those questions are eventually answered by investigators, but still it remains something that, you know, no human being has to go through this. Number 2, many people are drawing comparisons to other cases. Like I was telling you, people are able to see some pattern, people are able to connect some dots, like Why does it look like something familiar? You see, some creators believe this tragedy reminds them of previous incidents involving black victims, like where families also searched for them, and then they demanded answers, but still they never found the answers. So they see patterns, while others caution that every case should be, should still be like investigated on its own facts without trying to relate some cases that's within the video. But either way, those comparisons show how emotions are running high, how are so intense. Number 3, many parents are using this moment to talk about safety. Sometimes when something bad happens, it becomes a good time to to find some lessons, because some lessons are found from hard times, from problems, not just for teenagers but for young adults as well. They are encouraging parents to teach their children to stay with the trusted friends, avoid wandering off alone, and always have a plan before going somewhere so unfamiliar. So it can be the case of this 18-year-old boy, but it applies to anyone. It applies to anyone. I mean, that's a practical advice, regardless of who you are. Number 4, some people are sharing personal stories about, peer pressure. They remember moments where someone encouraged them to do something risky simply to fit in, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense. And that's bad. So their message is simple. Don't let the fear of looking weak push you into making dangerous decisions. You may be a black person trying to fit in within white community, within a white space, by risking your own life. So you prove to them that, even you, black person, can also do it. Those people cannot do it. They fear for their life. So that makes sense. Because sometimes the smartest decision is just to say no. The other way we win a fight, the other way we win an argument, is just by being silent or saying sorry, or you can just leave that place. That's the other kind of win. That's not, you're not looking powerless by doing that. No, that's also some sort of bravery. That's some courage. And number 5, many people simply want some sort of transparency. They are demanding answers like, why is this the case? So they want investigators to answer the unanswered questions. They want families to receive clear information, like what really happened. They want the truth, whatever that truth it really returns out to be. People are just wanting to have some questions like, what exactly happened? Now, one thing that really stands out to me is that just how different people are responding online. Some are grieving because we're talking of a death of somebody. Some are grieving, some are frustrated, some are just skeptical. Others are urging, patience and saying everyone should wait until investigators, complete their work. And that's the reality of social media today. News spread quickly, but opinions spread even faster. And sometimes opinions begin, filling the gaps long before all facts are known. That's why it's important to separate confirmed information from personal belief. But it's so understandable that people have questions, because as long as you can see some patterns that it also happened to a certain black person among who used to be among white people. It also happened to a certain girl who was among white people. So people will always have to connect the dots, like what exactly is happening. So it really makes sense. And somebody within the comments complained that when there are cases involving black people, the investigations is not really serious. Even the police don't take much attention in investigating what really happens. But when it is something involving, a white person, the moment it's reported that one is missing, the police who have spread the information will be on the ground searching for that person until they are found alive. But when they are black people, it takes 2-3 days before they start searching. So that's not good. Okay, that's not good. But it's understandable that families want answers. They should really demand answers. It's also important to let evidence guide conclusions rather than assumptions alone. And at the end of the day, a young man lost his life. A family is mourning. Black people are questioning. They have lost somebody within their, their community. Somebody who would have contributed to the building of black community. Friends, classmates, teammates, and loved ones are grieving unimaginable loss. That's the part that should never get lost in all the online debate. Hopefully the investigation provides the answers his family have been searching for, and at least this should never happen. But that's why people are, asking that question. As a black parent, as a parent having a black child, how would you be comfortable having your child being, among white spaces, calling them best friends? How comfortable are you with that? It's not necessarily teaching black children to be racist, to hate being in white spaces. No. But sometimes when you are the only black person among that, I think that's where the question comes from. That's where the doubt comes from. That's where the danger seems to be, because people are looking at the patterns, okay? The people are studying the patterns, because every family deserves to know what happened to someone they really love. Now, anyway, we don't know what really happens at the end of the day. Those were the concerns, those were the advice, the different perspective, and as always, think critically. Compare what's being said with the, confirmed, facts. And let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and I'll greatly appreciate to know your comments. I'll say rest in peace to this man. It really, shouldn't happen to anyone. It really shouldn't. It's so painful. I'm sorry. I'm sending my condolences to the family. Otherwise, those were the advices to avoid this pattern to keep going on. Let's listen to that. Otherwise, see you next time. If this is your first time, please subscribe, and I'm proud of you.